Did you hear about the J.P. Morgan executive President Obama is bringing in to be his next chief of staff? J.P. Morgan, not kidding. It should also be noted that he ran Al Gore's campaign for president in 2000. Not that that worked out in the end, but still. Carter, Mondale, Clinton, Biden, he's worked for all of them too. He has got a resume and a reputation as an A-list Democrat and as a man who gets things done. But is there a story to tell about Bill Daley that explains his choice to be chief of staff as something other than just a deliberate provocation to make the left mad and thereby make the White House look more centrist? Was Bill Daley picked for a reason other than the deep Democratic satisfaction of punching the hippie? Joining us now, no hippie, but a man who has the respect of a lot of us hippies, Howard Dean, former Democratic Party chairman, former governor of Vermont, and always a very, very welcome guest on the show. Good to see you, Governor. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Rachel.
Do you think that the president's agenda, whether as a reformer, whether in terms of his progressive goals, whether his agenda is mostly to get reelected in 2012 at this point, do you think that the president's agenda depends on having a really good, positive, constructive relationship with Wall Street, or depends on being able to be confrontational with Wall Street? I think that this may be one of the differences between sort of Democrats and the left, specifically how the president needs to position himself against business.
First of all, I think the problem is the president also has a communications problem, which I think he's in the middle of trying to remedy as well. There's nothing wrong with being against Wall Street. Wall Street really did a lot of harm to this country over the last couple of years. There is something wrong with being against the business community. I don't think the president's against the business community, leaving aside the Chamber of Commerce, which is essentially the finance arm of the Republican Party and therefore irrelevant in the debate. The fact of the matter is that there's a lot of businesses that create jobs, and we need some jobs right about now. Daley gets that. I really like the guy a lot. Look, I may be wrong, and I may be on this show eating crow 6 months from now after we have a big fight and, you know, progressives lose or something like that. I think this guy's a straightforward guy. What you see is what you get. There's no BS, but I've never had a conversation, and we have had conversations where I've been to the left of him, and we've, you know, had some discussions about that. I've never felt when I left his office that he didn't understand what I was talking about or that he didn't respect me as a person just because we had a disagreement. And that makes a big difference. The problems that progressives have with the Obama administration is not over the fundamental policy differences. It's the contempt with which the progressives were treated by his staff. And I don't think we need that. Don't forget, it's progressives, those kids that slept on floors for 20 weeks before the campaign that got this president elected, under 35s. We can't win without that kind of ardor again. And I think all we need is not a progressive that makes a sharp left, a president that makes a sharp left turn. What we need is a president that is willing to respect his base. And I think Richard Daley respects other people, whether he agrees with them or not. That makes a big difference.
See, I think I'd be happier being insulted and J.P. Morgan not getting their way. And I'm worried with J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs.
I don't think J.P. Morgan's necessarily going to get their way. Why would they get their way?
Because their Midwest chairman is now going to become White House chief of staff?